I used to be a Democrat. I will tell you, when I voted for Obama, none of my conservative friends ever attacked me. When I became a conservative and said, you know what? I'll tell you, I think Trump is going to win, but so many people don't want to mention the fact that they're voting for him because they don't want to be called these names. They don't want their business canceled, which mine was. And Rosie O'Donnell was one of those people that canceled my business. So I just believe that the hate is coming from the left. Look at your shirt right now.
I can hate Trump. And I will happily say that.
But see, but at least you admit it. At least I would never have a hateful thing for any of you. You know why? Because you were made in the image of God.
Yes, I don't know if you saw this video. I posted this a few days ago. It was taken down. I had to re-edit the video. There is something very important. This woman said on this video, I don't know. Take a look at this.
I used to be a Democrat. I voted for Obama, but I changed parties later on. I didn't vote for him the second time when he gave mine. And I'm half Scotch, Irish, English, German. And then on the other side, I'm in. So I was born. When he gave money to that radical regime, I said, this man is evil. So that was the first, eye-opening experience. Then when Trump was saying things that are basic, like securing our borders, they called us racists. They called us all these names and dehumanized us. This is what they do in tyrannical countries, is they make us less human by saying you're a bigot, you're this. I will tell you, when I voted for Obama, none of my conservative friends ever attacked me. When I became a conservative and said, you know what? I'll tell you, I think Trump is going to win, but so many people don't want to mention the fact that they're voting for him because they don't want to be called these names. They don't want their business canceled, which mine was. And Rosie O'Donnell was one of those people that canceled my business. I've had to live this. I've had to live the attacks. Perez Hilton doxed my personal information. I got threats to my life. I failed. Never have I experienced, and fake news too. They said I punched a cancer survivor. No. An Antifa member clocked me with her shoulder and I pushed her back and they said that I'm a cancer survivor. So that's called fake news. I'm so tired of the fake news twisting things because if you look at a lot of these people, they are mentally ill, and we're not looking at why these people are mentally ill. First off, the far left are telling our children that they're a mistake by saying, oh, you're born in the wrong body. That's evil. God created Adam and Eve.
For the past few days, I've been talking about Obama, Michelle. You know, this video surfaces on my timeline every single day. People expressing dissatisfaction with Obama, comparing to the Trump administration. You should notice this. Everyone that is coming forward, I used to be a Democrat, after observations of what they have been doing, they automatically change their mind. This lady you see here was a Democrat, but because of their policies and according to her, the hate is coming from the left, she had to change her mind. It started when Obama donated money to Iran. She's from Iran. She had to look into it. Like, if you are doing this, you are evil. That should tell you a lot, the minds of people when it concerns him. For this now, Obama is making news for reasons I don't know. He should not be on the news every single time. Have you noticed that when Trump is actually on the news, like the other time, signing peace deal, Obama would just say something to trigger people, to divert attention to him.
Donald Trump is the very first Republican who I have ever voted for in my life. I voted for him for the first time in 2020. Before that, I voted Barack Obama twice, and I voted for Hillary in 2016. And the only reason I voted for Hillary in 2016 was because I believed that Donald Trump was a racist, and I also thought that the majority of Republicans and the people who were voting for him were also racist. Then in 2016 hit, and he won. I was so disappointed. I told my sister, I cannot believe that the country that just elected our first black president turned around and elected this man. Then my sister told me, just because people have voted for Donald Trump does not mean that they are racist. I told her, yes, it does. It absolutely means they're racist, because that's what I thought. Then I saw him as president, and I thought that he was a good leader. I think he did a good job, aside from all his mean tweets. So in 2020, I voted for him. And in 2020, I was literally undecided until that third debate with Donald Trump and Biden. I saw Joe get on stage, talk about all the wonderful things that he was going to do should he take office. Then Donald Trump said the same thing to him that we saw him say to Kamala. If you were going to do those things, why haven't you done them? And in Joe Biden's case, he had been Barack Obama's VP for 8 years. And in addition to that, he had also been a senator. So around that time, he had about 40 years in office under his belt. And when Donald Trump asked him that question, that struck out to me, that why didn't you do all these things in 40 years? Then Joe Biden answered that question with an excuse and said the reason he didn't do it was because of the Republicans in Congress. Said also because he was the vice president. And I was thinking, so the Republicans in Congress stopped you from doing all this in 40 years? You couldn't get any of this done in 40 years? That struck out to me. And that made me vote for Donald Trump in 2020. And I remember when I was actually on my way to vote for Donald Trump, my husband and I were in the car riding together. We started talking about the election and who we're voting for. He was voting for, I told him I was voting for Donald Trump. He immediately turned the car around and drove back home, would not take me to the poll to vote for Donald Trump. So we went back home and I returned to the poll later to vote for Donald Trump.
Yes, when you take a look at this, Barack Obama endorsement of California Proposition 50, which allowed the Democratic control legislature to withdraw congressional district for 2026, contradicts his claim that voters should pick their representative, not the other way around. While criticizing Republican gerrymandering, he supported a measure that let politicians choose voters, undermining the voters approved Independent Redistricting Commission Bill 1's champion Prop 50 project. Projected additions of 5 Democratic seats exposes this as a partisan power grab, despite his rhetoric about defending democracy. You know, Obama posted this video. It is everywhere on Twitter just a few hours ago, and people are calling him out for who he is. Nobody is buying this. They started this issue. Gavin Newsom came out when Republicans took a decision to do this in Texas. These people don't understand something. If Gavin Newsom is to succeed to do this, I will tell you the truth. Everywhere this decision will be implemented, and Republicans are on high advantage with this. So if Democrats think that this is the best thing they can do, they need to rethink. I've seen a lot of petitions going around on social media. People are now signing that about 200,000 people have already signed in, requiring voter ID in California. This is a bad thing to Democrats. They actually don't even want to see this. A lot of people are doing this, and I'm impressed. If you have been following this channel for days now, I decided to bring people that are changing their minds toward the Democrat Party. But that notwithstanding, this is their next plan. Rosie posted this. If you remember, this lady fled the US simply because of Trump, but she can't stop calling Trump name every single day. We are not asking, we are shutting it down. Marriage blackout, November 25th, December 2nd, the largest economic blackout in US history begins November 25th. No work, no spending, no restaurant, no project, no event, no restaurant, no backing out. Prepare for the impact. Okay, this is their next plan. I think I'm going to end here. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. If you notice, videos like this, I don't make them long. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm.
Let him give me a Heimlich maneuver.
And they were people. Almost exactly what
Trump have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us.
It's like history.
Point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic. He even gets an off.
If the Democrats
thing, because how many times somebody asks
for
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American
give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama
Is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC
Want them to stop
fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one. Look, there are certain rules of free speech.
A right to have a television show.
All the same people that are in these polite...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I don't know where to start. I'm like the spinning wheel thing in the computer.